So when you've pumped, what are we actually going to do with the breast milk? You may actually be feeding it directly to baby straight after a feed at body temperature, which is nice and easy, but let's imagine that you actually want to store the breast milk. You might have not pumped with the bottle. Perhaps you actually tied a freezer bag to the base of the breast shell using the cable tie, in which case you'd untie the cable tie and you'd have the freezer bag ready to go directly into the freezer. Or you might choose to store the milk in a fridge, or you might choose to keep it at room temperature. Provided your room is not warmer than 25 degrees Celsius, it can stay at room temperature for up to 6 hours. If you want to store it in the fridge, provided your fridge is below 4 degrees Celsius, it's fine for 5 days. Don't put it in the door of the fridge. Or you want to store it in the freezer. If your freezer is below minus 20 degrees Celsius, it's fine for 6 to 12 months. So some people say, oh, but if you put it in the freezer, aren't you going to lose some of the properties of breast milk? Not considerably, to be honest. Frozen breast milk still retains a lot of the immunological benefits and still has a lot of value. So if you aren't going to be using it within 5 days, then you might want to pop it into the freezer straight away. When it comes to warming up breast milk, we need to be a little bit careful. We don't want to microwave it. That's going to create hot spots and isn't great for the milk. We're going to thaw it nice and gently. If we're taking it out of the freezer, perhaps keep it in the fridge overnight, and then in the morning when it's time to warm it up, you can sit it in a basin of hot water or run it under a hot water tap, and then it should be ready for babies to drink. It's a good idea to warm it up a little bit, because if you give a baby very cold milk, they have to waste their own energy and calories warming it up once they drink it. And also you'll find that the breast milk will separate and the fat layer will come to the top of the breast milk, and it's a good idea to mix it back together again and have it all looking like one type of milk. Human breast milk isn't homogenized like the milk we're used to seeing that we buy from the supermarket. So if you do get layers, don't think that your milk's gone off or there's anything wrong with it. That's completely normal. You can shake it back together again and then just warm it up when you want to give it to baby. Some people talk about not shaking breast milk and swirling it instead, but actually you have to shake extremely hard to break down some of those cells. So don't worry about shaking it, that should be fine, and then you're ready to give it to baby.